Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. It's been a while, and I meant to do this quite a while ago, but honestly, time just kept getting away from me, and I just kept putting this off and off and off. But we are sitting down today. We are going to rank every episode of Doctor Who Season 2. Like I said, I'm a little late as we're well into Season 3 now, but I wanted to do this. I've had it on my list of things to do for such a while, and now we are finally going to go ahead and do so. So, we're not being too analytical. This isn't like some serious television review channel or anything. I'm having a fantastic time with Doctor Who, and I just want to, kind of share my general thoughts, my general rankings of the episodes here with you guys. And I have a feeling that, honestly, most of you are probably going to already know where I'm going to put some of these episodes here as we go through it. So I obviously remember each of the episodes in general, but I do have the episode list here just so we can kind of get a little brief recap. But anyways, beginning with and I wanted to make sure I had the order right because I was going through and putting this back, because when I actually opened this page, all of these were like in here already in like weird order. So I wanted to make sure I got the actual, consistent and right episode sequence there. So, of course, we begin with the Christmas invasion. We are now introduced properly in our first episode here with Tennant as the new Doctor, and we return to familiar times, but this time with the rest of the cast in tow. The Christmas invasion, I think, is a fantastic way to open up the season. It gives us something familiar. Of course, with Rose's family and Mickey and everyone, but it also gives us a nice, serious threat, sure, to the Earth with the Christmas invasion and, the aliens coming through with their ship, and the fight on board the ship was fantastic. The duel at the top of the ship was fun, and I think it was a great way for Tennant to just like open up the season. So for now, I'm putting this in good. These rankings will go through with a fine-tooth comb at the end of the video, but for now, I put the Christmas invasion in good. It's a great episode to start us off. Then, moving on to New Earth. New Earth, the first proper episode here of the season, and we have the reintroduction of a classic, at least like classic as in season 1 returning villain, I should say, with Cassandra coming back, and this time possessing Rose there. I love the callback to Cassandra being, a main force here. We get some deeper lore into her as well, which I think was really fantastically done. But then we also have a little bit of an expansion of lore here, I should say, with what I call the Khajiits, the cat nurses, the cat people here, as and we'll return to this, of course, later on season 3, as we've have come to do so already at this point. But I really like how we expand the lore, but we also keep certain characters such as Cassandra coming back, but give her new depth and new life as well. And the ending scene there, I think, is really, really fantastically done with Cassandra. So this was, once again, just a really great adventure. And New Earth, I would put ahead of the Christmas invasion for now in the good portion here. Tooth and Claw. Now, you know that I have a certain affinity for any sort of like historical fiction, if it's taking fantasy elements and putting that into it as well. I really, really enjoy that. As a matter of fact, the book that I'm reading right now, called Between Two Fires, is a medieval, plague-ridden historical fiction, but with some fantastical elements involved in it as well. It's just a period piece. I like that, and especially if there's some drama and some fantastical elements here involved. Here, of course, with Tooth and Claw, with the werewolf being in here. I remember the group of monks. The I will say the editing in the beginning with those monks, very very cheesy wire food kind of stuff going on there, but it's a fun one nonetheless. We get introduced to some cool characters here as well. We have a little bit of a Torchwood connection that comes through, so that's nice. Tooth and Claw, I put still right now in the good. And why am I putting so many in good? Because I got to save some room for some greats and the best as well. We got to save some room. But we're not saving room for long. We have school reunion. So even though I don't have, wow, they spelled it wrong. Even though I don't have any sort of connection with Sarah Jane and that character from a long-standing point of view, I do really like her character. I love, I guess, for me, the introduction to her character, but for, of course, many of you, the reintroduction of her character and the dynamic with Tenants, the dynamic with Rose. There was a little bit of cattiness involved, but nonetheless, just a great reunion there. But this goes from a good episode, and in my opinion, to a great episode because of the villain, because of the headmaster. Hannibal Lecter Light, the acting from him was astonishing. I love him, and he felt like such a perfect nemesis and foil to the Doctor here. And I did read, I believe in the past month or so that the actor did pass away, unfortunately. And many of you had said that he's from Buffy as well, which I've never seen one episode of Buffy. I don't know anything about it except that she's a vampire slayer. But he was absolutely fantastic. What was his name? Mr. Finch. Mr. Finch. Just really brilliant. And of course, later on, they transform and show their true colors and such like that. But what a great actor and what a great villain and foil for the Doctor in this episode. And of course, I love, Mickey realizing he's just like the dog. He's just like he's this Doctor's dog in a sense. But he comes into his own. He comes into his own later on. But yes, fantastic episode. Love the villain in here, and absolutely worthy of its place there in the great section. Now we come to the girl in the fireplace. Bada bada boom. That is such an easy best in the series list. Once again, I have a bias towards historical dramas and period pieces, and how absolutely brilliant this episode is done. The villains are great. The lead actress here is great. Miss Pompadour. That's what I'm calling her. Madame Pompadour. She's just an amazing character. And one of the characters that you could very easily see, of course, the romance bloom, between her and the Doctor. But one that feels, what's the word? Equal in attitude, vigor, can stand up to the Doctor. He's not just like this endless fountain of knowledge and experience. She rivals him in such a wonderful way. And I think that it was just so fantastically done. The way that Billy, I should say Rose. I don't know why I used the actress name, but her dynamic is further cemented as well. I think with the Doctor in here as well. The ending scene, I think, is one of the most heartbreaking scenes we've seen in Doctor Who so far. At least I have, when the Doctor returns and she has passed. I think just an absolutely unexpected scene, that one. And the sadness as he watches her being taken away at the end there. I think that was just incredibly heartbreaking. Madame de Pompadour, man, just really, really sad. And the back and forth there with the ship, kind of that halfway sci-fi, still very much having a foot steeped in the sci-fi aspects, but coming back to the period time. I think that this is just a fantastic episode here, and could easily be argued to be the best in the season. Rise of... Did I list this all right? Yeah, okay. I want to make sure I actually listed things right because I did it kind of quick. Rise of the Cybermen. So we get the two-parter here. And I like how we have the Cybermen involved. Heavy stomping, the boots crashing the party. Was it Dr. Loomis? Am I thinking of his right name? Lumic. Who's Loomis? That's from Halloween? Is that... Am I thinking of the wrong person? I like the return. We have the return of... Rose's father, Pete, who we get a kind of, it was not like a great reunion, but it's a reunion nonetheless. We get to see a parallel universe in which, Pete and Jackie are, well, still alive. First of all, Pete's still alive, obviously, but Their dynamic is definitely a point in there. But I really like how we start to get a little bit of moments with Rose realizing her dad's alive in this universe. And of course, this is coming off the heels of the first season where we saw so poignantly how she lost her father there. And I thought that was kind of an interesting dynamic to bring back and just to see how she handled that. I think that this was a really big moment for Rose in that particular way, and a big moment for her growth emotionally in that regard. And of course, the Cybermen are really great in here as well, with everyone being taken over. We'll revisit this later by the end of the season. And I think that these two episodes are really great as well, with some fun moments too, as they infiltrate into the party and everything. And we have the resistance, I guess you could say. So we have alternate Mickey coming in here. Like, it's cool to see the actor kind of playing a different role there, So we get these kind of two parallel universes that start to collide a little bit here. And of course, like I said, this will eventually come to a close as well near the end there. So for Rise of the Cybermen, I put this in great. Where would I put this? For now, I'm going to stick it here on right behind School Reunion. For now. And then Age of Steel is just a continuation of that. And I think that we get some really great character beats here, especially for Mickey. Especially for Mickey as he, stays over in this universe where, he's gonna come into his own. And man, does he. Man, does he. We'll obviously get to that back at the ending here. But I really like the way that his character grew so much in those two episodes. I think that was a huge part of it here. Obviously, he steps up into his roles, and he's kind of a big part of this episode here. Obviously, you see what's happening here. I think everything else in this episode is great. It's just honestly kind of a continuation of the previous one. So I think that these two go together here in great. The Idiot's Lantern. Okay, so now we have the TV lady, and she's, taking over, and she's doing her thing. I put Idiot's Lantern for now in the okay. Let me pull it down here. For now in the okay. You got the whole coronation. You have some really good emotional beats with the family that we're following here, and the husband and wife, and the dissolution of that family. I love that ending scene where the son walks with his father. I thought that was really, really a nice human moment in there, which I just thought was really nice. And I think that was this of course coming off of a two-parter, felt like a more standalone story, kind of classic Doctor Who that I've watched so far, in which there's some sci-fi entity. We combat it, we beat it, but there's some nice emotional beats there as well, like I said, especially with the family involved there. And the TV use was an interesting device to kind of bridge the sci-fi with the real there. So yeah, I think it's an okay episode upon revisiting it. And now we come whoops, I threw myself away. We come to the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit. You already know where these are going. Yep. These are the best episodes of the season. These are my personal favorite episodes of the season, and I love them. I love them. One of my favorite movies is Event Horizon. And boy, this is such a beautiful way to expand upon some of those ideas and everything. This is such a cool episode. This Impossible Planet, the realization of where they are, where they're going, and who's on board with them. The possession aspect on there. The Ood. The first time we meet the Ood, and I'm like, oh, they're bad guys. And then the brilliant turnaround in the episode as they're just being nice. Oh no, but they're actually enslaved, and who's the real monsters on board? Just such a great, fantastic episode. There's some genuinely kind of scary moments in there, especially with the the possession that's taken place on there and all the markings, that tattoos. Eventually, of course, we get to the actual Satan pit and the Doctor versus Satan. Like, who thinks of this? And it's such a brilliant, 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 brilliant episode. I think that this is peak. This is absolutely top of the bin. The best episodes here, the Impossible Pit or the Impossible Planet, and the Satan Pit. I think that these are just awesome, man. And when Satan possesses the Ood and basically like uses them, like they just keep getting used in every single aspect there. And then technically, Satan ain't really dead. He just kind of out there somewhere. So I thought this was a fantastic two-parter. And for me, the best episodes on in the season. I could see an argument. I could see an argument that Girl in the Fireplace could be ahead of that. And I would have no qualms being made about it. I wouldn't disagree with you. It's just on a personal bias. These two are my favorites. Love and Monsters. Okay. I'll tell you right now, Love and Monsters is going to be probably my least. I'm thinking about it. Honestly, I put Love and Monsters ahead of Idiot's Lantern for right now. Okay, Love and Monsters is definitely a tonal change. Coming off of the previous two-parter with some serious stakes, Love and Monsters is quite a change. But I like how an episode that does not really feature the Doctor and Rose, like, we're focusing on a completely new batch of characters, a completely new group of people. And it feels like we're watching an indie movie of just some friends that eventually come together with these conspiracies on the Doctor and stuff. And I actually really like it. And I love, what was the monster's name again? What was the name? I remember a lot of you guys said that a kid actually drew and designed the Absorbaloff. The Absorbaloff. It's a silly name. It's a silly monster. But what was his name before? Victor. I love when Victor shows up, this over cheesiness to the villain. And I really, really like some of the charm in this episode, actually. So I don't have probably as many negative things to say about it as you may think. I think that it's a fun one. I think it's a cool diversion. The ending is interesting. Talk about face to pavement. Some of the implications that in there, But Love and Monsters, So I just really like how we have a turn of change of direction here that I think works as well. And also, speaking of the ending, the ending of the episode is very, very sad, actually. So really fantastically done. Really fantastically done. We're moving to Fear Her. Okay, Fear Her is really interesting in that we have some once again domestic issues that are brought about. So some serious drama and implications here. But we also have, of course, the monster in the closet who's acting like her father, and this whole, what's wrong with her and the kids disappearing and all, this whole mystery. So this is a really cool concept. And once again, a great way to bring together the dynamics of, human drama with these sci-fi stories. So where's Fear Her? Here it is. Okay. So, and we got the Olympics. I forgot about that aspect there. With him delivering the torch there at the end. So, Dr. Fine, she's possessed by an Isolus. I forgot the name. And I like how this Isolus wasn't necessarily malevolent. It was just two lonely souls, two lonely people finding each other. Unfortunately, harming each other in the process, but finding each other nonetheless. And I think that was kind of a cool concept and executed fairly well. I would put Fear Her. It's not my favorite. I would put Fear Her for now, until I kind of figure out what I want to do. I'll put it right here in okay. For now. Okay. Army of Ghost and Doomsday. Army of Ghost, I love Torchwood. I love the setup here. Yvonne is such a cool character. Just the boss of everything. And here we get such a fantastic combination. The Cybermen come back, the Daleks come back, Mickey's back. Like you get all like this is a season finale. This is a season finale between these two episodes, and the ending with and of course Pete's, Rose's dad coming in, and the separation, and Rose's lost at the end of Doomsday, and that's it. Something's piece of tape stuck on my arm from who knows where. Like that is just a brilliant ending to the season. And man, what a send off! What a send off for Billy. I think that it's just a really, really awesome finale here. So Army of Ghosts, I'm keeping these two together. Army of Ghosts and Doomsday, I put in the very beginning of greats. I think that they are absolutely phenomenal. You could argue that these could go into the best. I would not fight you. I would not fight you. However, for my purposes, I just consider these three episodes on a different level. But absolutely brilliance. I love we get, I didn't realize it at the time, but we get a little bit of a not literal introduction to Martha, but Martha plays the secretary that sneaks off with her coworker there. Somebody's to call HR. But I just really like how this not only ends like such a brilliant season and wraps a lot of these loose wires and loose threads up from the season, but it also provides so much potential for the future and different implications for the future as well. This was just a really brilliant finale. I can't state over or enough how much I love the Daleks and the Cybermen together in there as well. I'm looking to see if there's something I missed between these two, but just awesome. No, I got everything I wanted to talk about in that one. That was brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. So now let me look at these. Let me look at this list. Let's look at this and really see, am I completely satisfied with these rankings as I see them here? The top three, yes, no doubt about that. That is exactly the order I would place these in. I'm very happy with this. Impossible Planet and Satan Pit are my favorite episodes of this season, followed by Girl in the Fireplace. Army of Ghosts and Doomsday, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I would also keep these right there in the next in line. Now I'm going to start playing around a bit. I would put New Earth. We're going to bump New Earth up, actually. And I'm going to put it here. I really like the way that Cassandra comes back. I like the New Earth concept and the world that's introduced there. I actually really like that. I'm putting that there. That's my opinion. I'm happy with where School Reunion is in relation to everything else here. Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel. Great two-parter. Christmas Invasion. It's great. Or it's good. It's good. I'm happy with where it is. I got no problems with it. It's just that there's a lot of strong material that comes in after that. Tooth and Claw. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. Yes, we're doing good. Love and Monsters. Fear Her, Idiot's Lantern. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. I'm happy with this list. I'm happy with this list. This is what I feel about Series 2 of Doctor Who. These are my rankings of the episodes. This is my final verdict and my final feelings on Season 2. Man, these episodes up here, though, that's some good stuff. However, that's how I rank Season 2 and every episode within it. What about you? What are your favorite episodes? What are your least favorite episodes? What are the episodes you don't feel too much about? Maybe a little indifferent. I would love to read those down below in the comments. Thank you so much for your patience in me doing this video. We're pretty deep into Season 3, and now I'm just kind of getting to this. I apologize for the wait, but hopefully it was, this is one of those little fun side diversions, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed ranking them along with me. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, your week, and everything else that it encompasses and involves. And I will see you all next time. Thanks again, guys. Bye.